We all love designing websites, but the problem is the time it takes to build a professional looking website can be days. And who wants to design a website for days if you can have a very, very good starting point? This is the product that I'm going to be talking about in today's video. Now, for those of you that have been on Divi University for a while now, you will know that this product was launched before. It's called Initia. This is a starter site, a multi-purpose starter site. Now, what makes this great is it has a lot of features. First of all, you have a blog. So if you're designing a website for a client, you're going to have a blog right there and then. And by the way, this is one of those videos you want to watch from start to end because you're going to be asking me questions which I perhaps maybe talk about towards the end. Okay. So this is the main landing blog page. Now, everything here, the whole website was designed using the Divi design system, Crafter. Okay, everything here is super responsive. Everything just works great. So as you can see, we have a search area here. Now, when you hover over it, you can see this interaction is there. You can start typing and it is very, very easy to use. Okay. Now, when you start a brand new Divi website, you won't have this blog page. You won't have the search results page, right? But anyway, I'm going too fast. Let me show you what you have. So this is your main blog landing page. This is included in this starter site. Now over here, if you click on read more, it will take you to the actual blog page. Now this blog page is also properly designed. Look at that. You even have your table of contents. So if I had my headings here, all of them would show in here. If I scroll down, you also have this area here where people can sign up to join the mailing list. I mean, how cool is that? Out of the box. You don't need to look for plugins. Everything is just working all in one go. Next, we also have things like the contact page, right? So the contact page, again, is already done for you. If you want to add any other information, you can add it. We also have these page titles, which are really cool as well. And when we take a look here is the dashboard. Now, the dashboard is super important because when you design a website for a client, the last thing you want to do is to send them over to this dashboard. Okay. This dashboard is terrible. I had to go in and disable quite a lot of things here. You can see you have site status and all these things are so confusing for a brand new user. So having a dashboard that looks like this is way, way much better. It's cleaner, it's simple. They can view analytics from here. They can create a new page, edit a page, and further down here, if they need any support, they can send you an email by filling in this form, and you can also add some useful links. This is out of the box in the Initia starter site. Next, let's talk about more features. Now, these features are going to really get you excited. Now you see this main hero area here. Of course, when you design a website, you want to have different variations. And when we started off this, we talked about spending so much time designing. So here we want to save as much time as possible. So first of all, this layout here may look like a business website, but check this out. You can go in quickly here, click on edit and completely change this design. So I'm going to go into the section settings here, you go to the background, and I'm going to change this image and add a different one. So I'm going to upload a different image here. So let's say we're building a website for a dentist practice. Double click on my image here, which I downloaded from Pexels. I'm going to say upload image and boom, just like that. Now I've changed the look and feel of the website right away. Isn't that cool? Okay, I know what you're saying, but Mac, I'm limited. I only have one design. This is where you're wrong. So with this, if you go into the grid view here in the canvas, there's other alternative views. Okay, we have this one here. Boom. So just by selecting that, I can now go in, because this is an alternative design. I can go in here and let's say I want to change this image. I can come over here to image and then change this image completely and make it a dentist practice. Just like that. Now, maybe you want a dark version of this. Well, you can just come over here and here's the dark version. Just like that. Now you have the dark version. If I hit save, and in fact, I need to make this, this is the main dark. And if I do a quick preview on the front end, you'll notice that we have our design. But if you want this one here to be the main one, all you need to do is to come over here to the canvas, and then you want to click on these three little dots and say make main canvas, just like that. And now that has become the main one. I can hit save, and then I can come over here and refresh. So the idea here is to have many different alternative hero areas or hero designs that you can choose easily. And these are all going to be inbuilt, which means you can design possibly, 10 variations of websites using just one starter site, I mean, how cool is that? All right, so this is not the only update. Let me show you what else is here. So let's exit from here, save and exit. Okay, so now to add more, to show you all the other features, let me go into the dashboard. We're going to go into Divi, and we need to find the theme builder. This is where we can change our headers and footers. So here you can see we have this light header. Let's say you want to have a dark header. You want to go in here, you go into the canvas. We have our dark here. I'm going to select that, make main canvas, boom. I'm going to save that. And just by doing that, if I refresh, I now have a dark version. Okay. So you can see that it's working. You also have a footer here out of the box, all designed for you. So as you can see, this is a very, very useful product. I can even choose this white version, make main canvas like that, and then save. And then if I come over here and refresh, you see, you can mix and match until you have your desired layout. So again, if I go back in here and click on this plus button, I can say add from library. Now, here's where things get really exciting. There's also other features that I've added. We have the library sections here as well. I'm going to add a few more onto here so that at least you have a lot to choose from. So let's say you want to add a pricing table. You can just select that, add it, and now you have a pricing table. I'm going to save that and view on front end. Look at that. Now we have a pricing table. I mean, how cool is that? Now, of course, if you want to see if this is mobile responsive, all you have to do is to click on that, and you can see there, everything looks compact, everything looks great. Even the footer looks great. And if I go onto the mobile phone, look at that. I haven't changed anything. Things just work. This is what you need if you're a freelancer or you're a design agency. You just want things that works. Now, what's powering this, as I mentioned earlier on, is the Divi design system called Crafter. It has all your sizes, everything just scales, and everything just works. I mean, just look at that. This is ideally what you need when you start designing your websites. It's a time saver, and this is definitely the tool you're going to need. Installing it is very, very easy, and I'll show you in a moment how to install it. Okay, so I spoke about a few pages here, the contact and so on. Now, I want to show you the login page, because this is where a lot of designers really mess up when they design websites. So I'm going to go into incognito window, and then I'm going to hit paste. So here, you're going to notice that it now says login, okay? So if I scroll down here, everything is in place. It says login. If I click on login, we can add a custom image here, which fits the branding. And then this is how they log in. So by entering the username and password, when you click login, it redirects onto the dashboard, which is the page that I showed you a moment ago, which is this one here. So they get redirected onto this dashboard. And this is also mobile responsive, which is pretty cool. Now, there is something else I also want to talk about, and that is the pages. So let's say you want to create a brand new page. So you would come over here. Let's exit from here. And I'm going to show you how cool this is. So we're going to click here and add a new page. So let's call this page new page. Okay. We're going to say use Divi Builder. Okay. So as we start building this, we are going to say, okay, we're going to need a page header. Okay. So I'm going to click on this plus button, and then I'm going to say add from library. So I have different page headers here. Okay. So I have the muted one. I also have the dark, and I also have the primary color. So let's go with the primary color here. I'm going to say use this section. Excellent. So now that I've added this, you can see straight away it says new page, but you can also go in and adjust this text here. Now let's continue designing this page. So this time I'm going to go in here. I'm going to add a blurb. Now I want you to notice how I am designing this, because this is using our design system. And this, as I mentioned earlier on, is going to save you a lot of time. Okay. So I'm going to delete some of this text, and then I'm going to go in. Okay. And let's add, in fact, let's come over here to the top. This feature, by the way, is from the design system. So I'm going to go ahead and choose my blurb. Boom. Just like that. Next, I'm going to add my image. So I'm going to come over here to image and icon, and I'm going to choose an image that is already in my library. Okay, there we go. All right, so now that I have my blurb, I want to have perhaps 2 of these. Okay, maybe even 3. Okay, now I can go to my row settings. Okay, now watch. If I go to elements and choose my column, using my design system, I can come over here and say auto grid. And now I have this beautiful grid that is responsive and works great. I'll show you in a moment why this is great. So first of all, let's add a really nice padding on our section. So I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to come to the top here and go with medium. Okay. I can even go with large if I need to. Okay. Right. Now this row is not the right size. We need a 12 column grid. So I'm going to select my row settings, come over here to the top, and then I want to set this to content width. Boom. Now everything looks really nice. I'm going to save this. Okay. Now let's take a look at this and see what it looks like in the different views. Look at that. Out of the box, even the size of the text here is adjusting automatically. All right. Now let's do a quick look on the front end. So I'm going to now save, and then I'm going to preview on front end. Excellent. Now, do you see how clean and beautiful this page is? You see that? Now you can go in, every single module in Divi has been redesigned to make it fluid and responsive. It has the right text sizes. It has the right colors. Pretty much everything is here. Now, I know you're probably thinking, but Mac, what if I want to change the branding of the website? Well, it's simple. You come over here to your variable manager, and then you want to go to your colors. Okay, so let's say this is the color that you want to change. You can come over here. Perhaps you want a pinkish color. Now, do you see that just by adjusting here, this has changed? Do you see that? In real time, every time I've used a primary color, it is going to update. Okay, now I also want you to watch this button here. You see the button is changing? So you are going to make one change over here, and that change is going to affect the whole website. This is what designing with Divi 5 should be. Okay, so let's close out of here. We're now going to save, and let's do a quick preview. I'm going to refresh, and there we go. So now my link colors here have updated. And if I go to my blog, the blog has updated. Do you see that? So the complete website has been updated with the latest colors. Look at the call to action colors. They all have been updated as well. Okay, so this is really, really powerful, and this is how you want to be designing your website. Now, I think this one here has the table. No, it's not this one. I'm looking for the table of contents so you can have an idea of what the table of contents look like. Let's do a read more on this one. Okay, there we go. So this one here has the table of contents. So if you want to move on to that part, it'll just, if you have a long article, it'll just take you to the latest place. So now the question is, what is powering this starter site? Well, let's head over here to our dashboard so you can see the plugins that you need to get started with. So if I come over here to installed plugins, you'll notice that we have quite a few plugins. Anti-Spam Bee, this is a free plugin, fantastic for blocking spam. Fluent Forms, really good form builder. In fact, they're going to have the native integration very soon. Fluent Auth, this is a security plugin. It's free, absolutely free. I mean, all this I'm talking about here is free, okay? So Fluent Auth is absolutely free. And this is the one that has, that page, the login page and the redirect. This is the plugin that does that. Fluent CRM. This is what automates your emails. And then, of course, if you have Crafter Pro, This is going to manage all your presets, and it's going to manage all your variables and so on. And then you've got the login, log out, and you have the backup plugin. So pretty much that's all you need. And these plugins, they are really important. I've used these for many, many years. They work really well, and I highly, highly recommend them. So as you can see here, you are going to be able to build a website super fast. Even if you don't like these layouts, you have all the tools you need. You have the design system in place. All your modules are redesigned to make them look really, really awesome. So the question now is, well, how much is this? If I've already purchased Initial starter site, am I going to pay again? The answer to that is no. If you've already purchased this, you get it absolutely free. Okay, so that's the first category of people. If you've purchased this before, you get it for free. The next category of people is those who are lifetime members on Divi University. These are people that came a very long way with me, some of them even 10 years. Okay, I ran a lifetime membership that many years ago, and I'm still honoring it till today. So if you're a lifetime member, you get this absolutely free. The third category of people who are going to get this for free are people that have purchased Crafter Pro. If you've purchased Crafter Pro, all these starter sites, this is just the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. This is just the beginning. I am going to be designing at least 2 of these every month. I'm going to try and, I don't want to promise too much, because then you're going to put me accountable and a lot of you will be very upset, right? I'm going to try and build as many as I can every month. So today, this is a multi-purpose one. Next time is going to be perhaps maybe a law firm. It's going to be a dentist place. It's going to be a fitness. It's going to be different types, and it's going to have different layouts. Okay, that's the idea. So those 3 category of people, you are going to get this absolutely free. Now, for those of you that are in neither of those groups, well, this is going to be going for 147 when I fully launch it, okay, in 2 days. But if you want to get the early bird price, it's going to be $77. You paid once. You're also going to get the Divi design system worth $67 as a part of this. So you are getting the initial starter site for $10. That's what it means, $10. So purchasing this today, because tomorrow, in fact, on Friday is when I'll be fully launching this, because I want to launch this with the training video as well and pretty much everything. And then after this is going to be 147. Why am I doing this? I'm just doing an early bird price so that at least those of you that want to get a feel of how it works and so on can get up and running really fast. So if you purchase this today, I'll have this available tomorrow. Okay, and then you can start playing around with it. I'll also have the video on how to use it and how to customize it and so on. So this is the offer. It is only available tomorrow and Friday, and then after that it's going to be $147. Okay, so anyway, guys, this is what I think the future of Divi need to look like, because tinkering and customizing every little item is going to be very, very frustrating and very, very, very annoying. So having a starter site that has a design system inbuilt, in my opinion, I think this is the way forward. I'd like to hear your opinions. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments box below. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you purchase this today, just remember that the file won't be available today. I will be emailing it out tomorrow, because I'm doing some finishing touches and making sure that everything is working okay. All right. But so far, so good. We have the footers. We have the dark mode and the light mode. We're also going to have different layouts. Like I'm thinking of having maybe a testimonial section, different variations of the testimonial. Like, of course, we have the pricing one, which is pretty cool. Of course, you can design your own if you want, but at least you can throw up a website super fast for $77 and you're up and running. Anyway, guys, it's super hot here. I'm actually sweating as I'm speaking, so I really have to end this video. Anyway, guys, until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.